studio, and guess what? We are filming on the lot today. There's a TV show on the Hallmark Channel called Home and Family. The sets are built here. They are filming today. So when we go through that area, it's going to be dubbed a quiet zone, which means I have to go off mic for just a little bit. I'll throw up a screen that says filming in progress, and I'll point it out when we get there. So let's get on our way. Wave bye to all the beautiful people waiting in line. Wave bye to everyone else because they have feelings too. All right, now on my tour today, I've got a very special co-host. You know him from TV shows like Saturday Night Live and Late Night with Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Bianca.
And the greatest driver.
Todd.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
that Bianca
owes me $5.
Oops.
I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
Safety. If you look up, you'll see there's a long cord that runs down the center of the tram. That is your lifeline. If you have an emergency of any kind today, if it's medical, if you drop anything, just reach up, give the cord a pull, and I'll personally be back to assist you. This tram's gonna move around, so you'd better sit down. We're gonna encounter some crazy effects today, like sudden tram movements, loud noises, lots of fire, and gallons of water. So keep an eye on those cameras. All right, I hope everyone's having fun so far, because it's all downhill from here. Literally, Todd's going to drive us down this hill over here, because this is the part where we leave the theme park, and we're going to enter the movie studio, where we've been making movies for over 100 years. That's right, as we make our way down our movie timeline, off either sides of the tram, you'll see a couple of posters, and at the tops of the posters, you'll see our Universal Globe logo. It does change throughout the years, and right now it debuts a 100th anniversary because Universal recently celebrated our centennial. Now these posters represent just a few of those thousands of movies we have made over the last 100 years. So I'm going to show you guys a classic Lions Right to Go Adventure. Let's see if anybody recognizes it.
Ready for you, Mrs. Barrington. Thank you, Wolf.
Did you hear that? Mrs. Barrington.
Not quite, darling, but soon. Very, very soon. Hello. Yes? Let me bottle of champagne sent to the room at once.
All right, so Jimmy Fallon's a dead giveaway. You should know by now this is not a classic film. Now, we filmed this inside of one of our sound stages. That shows you the inside, but what do the outsides of sound stages look like? Thank you for asking. Well, right here on the left, our first one is Sound Stage 12. Now, Stage 12 is home to one of NBC's hit TV shows, The Voice. Adam Levine, Blake Shelton, Shakira, and Usher, all those big names inside of a big stage. Now, Stage 12 is only one of 35 sound stages that we have on the front lot, but that one is one of the biggest sound stages in the world. Wow, over 30,000 square feet. All right, but we're going to go from the biggest sound stages to one of the busiest. So around the corner on the left-hand side, coming up is Soundstage 25, which is currently home to one of TV's hottest dramas. CSI, Crime Scene Investigation, starring Ted Danson and Elizabeth Shue. But over here, CSI also stands for Can't See Inside. The soundstage is closed. We can't give away the crime scene secrets. Only the cast and crew is allowed inside. But sometimes they do leave the doors open, so as we drive past them, keep an eye out in case any of them are cracked open today. You never know. Oh, yep, this one is. So definitely take a peek inside, because normally these doors aren't open. All right. So we've seen the biggest, here's the busiest, and up next, we're going to check out one of the oldest sound stages on the lot. So in a moment on the right, we'll pass by soundstage number 28. Back in 1925, we constructed 28 to hold the elaborate Paris Opera houses for the Phantom of the Opera, starring Lon Chaney, the man of 1,000 faces. Now, normally after production, the sets are taken down to get ready for the next production. But here's the cool part. Since 1925, they're still inside. No one has yet taken down the Phantom sets, and there's a great reason for that. It's rumored that 28 is haunted. So we're going to stop in front of it because there's a stop sign. Safety first. Thank you, Todd. Now as we go around the corner here, on the left you guys will see just a few of our star trailer dressings over here. Now the bigger the star, the bigger these trailers get. And we get big trailers over here because of stage 27. It's home to some awesome movie scenes. Now also filmed inside of Soundstage 27 was Snow White and the Huntsman, starring Charlize Theron and Kristen Stewart. Also The Muppets was filmed in 27. It's not just for movies though, also some TV shows. 27 is where we house the TV series Weeds. That was filmed in 27. Now Universal Studios is also home to NBC Universal. We're a media powerhouse and we consist of many of your favorite TV networks. Some current TV shows we do film in our sound stages is Chelsea Lately, The Mindy Project, and Go On, starring Matthew Perry. Now on the outside, our sound stages look the same. They're warehouses with numbers painted on the side, but on the inside of our sound stages, we can create any set to fit the demands of any scene. So to give you an example, on the right momentarily, we've got sound stages 44. Now inside of sound stage 44 is the entire interior of Zeke and Camille Braverman's house. 44 is where we film Parenthood.
Hey, oh! Here? Yeah.
Now, Parenthood stars Laura Graham, Craig T. Nelson, Dak Shepard, and Peter Krause. Parenthood is a 1-hour TV series. However, the average episode takes only 1 week to complete. That's it, 1 week. Movies are another story. Movies can take months, sometimes years, and involve hundreds of people. And some of those folks work right over here on the left in these bungalows. Now, way back in the day, these bungalows here were used as dressing rooms for the actors. But now we have those convenient transportable trailers. So now these bungalows are offices for the top writers, producers, even directors in town work right behind these walls. Now, one of our bungalows belongs to Illumination Entertainment. They released The Lorax and Despicable Me, and they're working on Despicable Me 2. A bungalow here also belongs to the Hasbro Company. Now, all the bungalows do pretty much look the same. So how do you know which one belongs to the Hasbro Company? Because of this popular potato, Mr. Potato Head. Hey, Spuddy. Now, after him, we have Bungalow 5195. There's a familiar profile painted on the side. That's because that bungalow belonged to the incomparable Alfred Hitchcock, director of legendary works such as Psycho, Vertigo, and The Birds. But now that bungalow is actually home to executive producers Brian Fuller and Martha De Laurentiis. They are unleashing a brand new series on NBC.
Look at the picture there.
That's right, if you want to feed your fear, check out Hannibal. Alright now, but Hitchcock would be no stranger to where we're headed now. We're done with the front lot. This is now the Universal back lot. Now this is where we film the big stuff, the exterior scenes that are done on a very large scale. Now when it comes to the Universal back lot, the world is literally just around every corner. And as we round this corner, we've got Brownstone Street. This is one of our metropolitan areas, our outside city landscapes. And we're going to have some fun. I'm going to show you guys a scene from a movie. Look around. See if anything looks familiar.
Raise the door!
I'm in the shower!
Inside bad, outside good. Inside bad, outside good.
Ah, that movie.
Oh, you're done, didn't you? B-E-A-U.
Bruce Almighty.
If only I had a dime for every time I heard that. But yes, our Brownstone Street is beautiful, and that's where Jim Carrey lives for Bruce Almighty. It's one of our most filmed backlot locations. But let's check out another familiar location. Around the corner on the left is known to us here. This is Courthouse Square. But you're going to recognize it as Hill Valley from the Back to the Future films, starring Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. So while we're in Hill Valley, here's producer Bob Gill. He'll tell us just how crucial this courthouse was for filming Back to the Future.
It was actually the back lot of Courthouse Square that inspired the entire climax to Back to the Future.
I had scenes up in the clock tower on that ledge. It was the ledge about that wide. And I was standing each side looking at the ledge, and I already had vertigo. I just thought there's no way in the world, no way I'm going to stand all that. I was up there for quite a while. Of course, I had a cable.
I know it doesn't look exactly the same. The clock tower and the Black Panther statues are gone. They are put away in the prop department. We change our exterior sets all the time. We changed the front of that facade set, and we added the gazebo, all for the Ghost Whisperer, starring Jennifer Love Hewitt. That's filmed right over in this area. So we change our exterior sets all the time, and I think it's time to change again. So we're going to head to an entirely different part of the country. Pack your bags. We're going to head to the city that never sleeps, the Big Apple. That's right, New York, baby. All right, now as we enter our New York street, we turn this corner here. Check out the buildings here in New York. Now they've been increased to 50 feet tall, and you'll notice the sum of the window gets slightly smaller the higher up they get. This is all called forced perspection. It gives the camera the illusion that some of these buildings can be as tall as, say, skyscrapers like the ones in New York. Now, no stranger to New York, my co-host Jimmy Fallon. So we're going to cue him in, and he's going to show us how he films in this city.
Everyone, welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there. An old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey, buddy. How's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. I'm walking here. Hey, it's cool, guys. I was just, just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere, even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
Ilisan lang din.
Well, thank you, Jimmy. And yes, our Metro sets, this backlot is amazing. In fact, the Amazing Spider-Man was filmed all back here. Also, some of your favorite TV shows like The Movies and NCIS, they film here all the time. And don't forget music videos. Yes, Lady Gaga and Britney Spears are no stranger to this street right here. Now, whenever you guys are watching TV or film, anything that's outside is usually shot outside. But some of our buildings aren't buildings, so the second the actor opens the door and steps inside, the camera cuts off, and the insides are filmed in our sound stages. Now, when it came to creating our backlot, the ideas were supervised by Steven Spielberg, another director that we worked with, Mr. Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up an adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters or creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along
Look
for
at
the
the
ride.
bridge, kuya.
Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
Ladies and gentlemen, the king is in the house. You know him as literally Hollywood's biggest star, King Kong. In just a moment, we are going to venture off to Skull Island. So you might want to hold on to any loose articles that are on board, and do keep those hands and arms inside the tram, because, hey, I don't want any monkey business.
Memories lived here for hundreds of years. You're so sure.
Welcome to the jungle, baby.
Okay, glasses on, everybody. We're back in Skull Island.
Look, it's nice.
digital 3D screen. It stands for and they utilize the most advanced technology in filming. Himself and the team that are digital.
Are you scared? No, that's why it's not scared.
Alright, now just like you want to hold 3 squares, you can make that in one piece. You don't even get the rest of them to hang on them because you'll be dropping them in a bin at the end of the tour when you exit the tram.
Yeah.
Alright guys, we just survived the King Kong. I hope your cameras
So
are
look at that
down,
one.
because we're going to check out some picture cars. Now this tilapia on the right, this was a picture car, but King Kong claimed another victim. Now a picture car is actually any vehicle that is on a set and is seen by the camera. But over the years, some of our picture cars, they've grown to be just as famous as the actors who drove them. Alright, our picture cars are coming up on the left. Now everybody knows David Hasselhoff as a Knight Rider, but don't forget about Kit. He's hanging out here too. Alright, that's right. Over the years, our picture cars have had to grow bigger, better, and faster.
Flintstones.
Ja Rule over, yeah, yeah.
Alright, but now we're going to drift on out of here, and we're going to head to a jungle off the coast of Costa Rica.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
That's right, a prehistoric time period. Now, as we travel through our Jurassic Park, these picture set pieces that are here, these were used in our Jurassic Park films. Now, you never know when we're going to begin to film the next dinosaur scene, so we keep our fossil friends around on call, and you guys get to check them out in these cages. Oh, never mind, this one's empty. So's that one. Okay, I guess the dinosaurs took their break. I'm sorry, you guys. You know, as they say in the business, take 5. But for the dinosaurs, they're like, take 5 million, because you're extinct, am I right? Oh, there's something there. Uh-oh. Say it, don't spray it. Watch out, guys. Yeah, sorry about that. I had no idea they were going to be in the bushes. What I do know is I can always tell in the movies when they don't use real dinosaurs. I am pretty good at that. Now, when it comes to our Jurassic Park films, the weather plays a very important role because it creates the mood of the movie. When it comes to the weather here in sunny Southern California, sometimes we don't always get exactly what we need for the right scene. But when it comes to the universal backlot, we actually get our very own weather forecast. That's right. There's several ways how we can create our very own weather for TV and film. But when it comes to the backlot, we have America's favorite weatherman. So from the Today Show, here's Al Roker.
Hi everybody, here's today's forecast for the Universal Backlot. It's going to be sunny and dry in 6 Points, Texas. Cool and cloudy in Little Europe. Expect snow and sleet on New York Street. And we've got a high chance of fog and precipitation for Skull Island, Amity Island, and Isla Nublar. That's the forecast for today. Now here's a look at what's going on in your neck of the line.
A flash flood warning? Alright. Well, we're going to find out if Roker is right. Now, when it comes to creating the weather for TV and film, there's several effects that we need to use. Now, let's see if we can hear anything. There you go. The sound of thunder. Now, that is obviously just your basic sound effect. But to create weather, we also need some visual effects, like some flashes of lightning, and how about a little bit of rain? To create rain, we use an overhead sprinkler system. Now this shoots the water slightly up at an angle, so that way it can fall back down to earth naturally like real rain would. But water does not show up well in camera. No, and filmmakers have discovered this same problem. They've learned you actually have to mix milk into the water so it shows up on camera. Yes, that's disgusting, and yes, that does mean that Gene Kelly was really singing in the milk. I'm all washed up. Okay, now there's this low rumbling noise. You guys hear that? I don't know what that is. Okay, maybe Roker was right.
Wow, look at that.
I think there's a flood.
Look at that.
Alright, so the flood is just the result of thousands of gallons of recycled water being released from large tanks at the top of the hill. So now all the water is being recycled back into all the drinking fountains throughout the world. We're going to watch further from Old Mexico. Now if they're still in the community, their church coming up on the left was from Three Amigos, and one of my favorite movies filmed here, Nacho! You pray. Alright, so that's one real slide. That's a great movie. But we're going to go straight to Old Mexico because we're going to head right to the Old West now. So welcome to 6 Points, Texas. Yeehaw! Everybody, yeehaw! Yeehaw! Sounds fabulous. Now, just about every famous movie cowboy has moseyed on down this street, like the Duke himself, John Wayne. But back then, he was known by a different name, his real one, Marion Michael Morrison. John Wayne was just his stage name. But while we're hanging out in the Old West, I'm going to show you folk a good old-fashioned duel. Now, this was actually done on this street.
Look at that.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us, Jimmy Fallon.
Well, I ain't going anywhere, Jimmy Fallon.
Now look here. Nice folks in this tram don't want no trouble. They just want to check out 6 Points, one of the oldest sets on the Universal lot.
I hear that's where John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart shot a few of their westerns.
That's right. That's where I aim to shoot you.
Looks like we got ourselves a Mexican standoff. Lucky shot.
Now what say you mount up and get out of town when it gets good?
All right. I'll see you again, pal.
Well, you can count on it. Now get.
Now, big or small, all of our cowboys always appear larger than life. That's because of the doorways. Now, in Hollywood, sometimes they'll build the doorways smaller than normal. So that way, when the cowboys stand in them, they'll appear to be bigger and brawnier than they actually were. And others always were built larger so that damsel in distress could be a bit more vulnerable. Well, let's put a little hitch in our giddy and check out some more tricks of the trade. Now, on the left, we've got this beautiful lake that we're driving around. But this is not just a lake, and you guys don't want to go in there. That is the lagoon from Creature from the Black Lagoon. It's also the location where Norman Bates stashed his murdered victims in Psycho, and where those victims were found in Psycho 2. Alright, it's not the end. We've got much more to check out. That's right, we're going to go across country now. I hope everyone has their passports because we're going to take a nice little trip to Europe or something like that. Because on the right, all these buildings over here in these cobblestone streets is our little Europe. Now, Universal has an advantage over other movie studios. We're built on a hill at this incline, so it allows us to create these cobblestone streets for an authentic European feel. Now, Jimmy Fallon, he went to Europe, but he got this trouble.
Mi chiamo Jimmy Fallon e tu una grossa bottiglia di vino.
Je m'appelle Jimmy Fallon. Je veux arrêter baguette. Non, Charlie, non! Hallo, ich bin Jimmy Fallon. Ausschnitte! Ich glaube, die steht auf mich.
Every single one of those scenes is shot right here in front of this building. We just changed the lines, changed the costumes, and Jimmy Fallon went all over the world. Now, also to film right here through these streets was Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. Johnny Depp ran up and down these streets all the time for filming. Alright, now I did mention earlier on the tour that we are filming today for home and family, and guess what? The location is right up ahead, so get your cameras ready. So it looks as though they are still filming right now. They're in production, so I'm going to have to go off mic for just a bit. I'll be right back, but check out this real Hollywood action.
There's a filming. Hihimo nila kuan mami, guwapo kayong balay. Diyan rin sila. Guwapuhan nilang balay.
Alright, now there you go, some real actual filming today. That's fantastic. That'll be $5 more, thank you. Now, we are going to go inside of a soundstage now. Todd got us clearance, so we're going to go inside for a sneaky peeky. I think it's time we shake things up a bit. Alright, now this soundstage is considered a hot set. That means everything is dressed and ready to go for filming. Everything's still set up, good to go. The camera's up, you even got the dress from the table on the corner. This is a great example of how we dress the inside. So I guess if the director was here, all he'd have to do is call for lights, camera, and of course, action. Well, too much action. Alright, we gotta wait. No, just some turbulence and tiny nervousness. Alright, everyone, hang on, guys. This is the big one. Watch out for the tanker truck. I told you it was a hot set. Maybe the roof is on fire. I think someone has their phone on vibrate. You guys feel that? Alright, maybe that's the worst of it. So, the train has left the station. Watch out, Tom! Alright, let's get out of here. The water main just broke.
Look at the train!
It looks good, alright. Now those large-scale effects are juicy in our disaster.
Oh my God.
The results are amazing. Here's earthquake.
Hollywood gitu.
What's going on?
Now this is actual footage. We did film this scene inside of Soundstage. Now this was used on an episode of Bones, and we survived that. An 8.3 on the Richter scale. So after that, I am ready to take a vacation. So let's go to Amity Island. I know what you're thinking. Wasn't that town terrorized by a 25-foot, 3-ton great white man-eating shark? Yes, it was. But see, they got the shark. He's the catch of the day. Hey, that doesn't look like a 25-foot shark. Oh, that's okay. Charles, our police diver, is here in the water. So if there is another shark out there, he'll find it. There's another shark out there. Hey, Charles, can you get back on the boat? Charlie O'Connell, get out of the water. I don't think he can hear me at all. Uh-oh. Oh, there he is. Listen, Charles on that. There's a shark coming right at you. Uh-oh. Oh, the humanity. Well, Charles was no longer in charge. He was a brave diver, I'll tell you. He had a lot of guts. And there they are. Yes, Charlie took a jump. Now he's taking pictures. Okay, well, hopefully the shark isn't still hungry, but we're going to go ahead and hide behind these flammable gasoline tanks just to be safe. All right, you guys are my eyes and ears. Let me know if you see any shark activity. Oh, he's taking part of the pier. All right, that's not good. I guess the shark is still hungry. I think he wants barbecue. Okay, you guys, where's the shark? He's 25 feet. Don't lose him. Where's the shark? Now, Bruce the shark was actually just as big as a terror off the screen as he was on screen. The first day of filming Jaws, the shark sank to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. It prompted the crew to nickname the troubled production Flaws.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrated. It didn't really work. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio waves. They were always saying, the shark is not working. The shark is not working.
We just waited and just waited. The shark worked well enough. For a while there, I had the biggest supply. So I really owe the shark a lot.
All right, now get this. Bruce, the man-eating shark, was actually named after Steven Spielberg's attorney. True story. But on a less grisly note, this harbor was also used as Cabot Cove in the television series Murder, She Wrote. Now, Murder, She Wrote, starring Angela Lansbury, was also filmed in our chicken ranch. It's the white building here on the right. Now, also filmed in our chicken ranch was a music video for LMFAO, as well as an episode of The Mentalist starring Simon Baker. Now, what could be better than Baker? Not much, but check this out. We're going to take a nice little trip down memory lane, one of America's most talked about streets, the actual Wisteria Lane from Desperate Housewives. Now, they have repainted a couple of the houses, but we're going to take one last look anyways. Well, it's still Wisteria. Now, first on the agenda, coming up on the left, the second house, the beige and white house. This was home to Gabriella Solis, played by Eva Longoria. But in the 1950s, that's also where Jimmy Stewart lived with Harvey, his imaginary rabbit friend. Now, after that, this big lavender house, that was home to Bob and Lee. But the lavender house is the original 1313 Mockingbird Lane from the 1960s television series The Munsters. So we should say Lily is the original Desperate Housewife. Coming up on the right, the blue and the brick was played by Brie Vandekamp, Marcia Cross. Like a tennis match, look back to the right, to the left. The greenhouse is where the Scabos grew up. Now, Mrs. Scabo Lynette was played by Emmy Award winner Felicity Huffman. Now, we did construction between seasons to improve our little lane. We built this pink house that's at the end of the block, but the pink house is an actual house. It has an upstairs, downstairs, bathroom, kitchen, and living room. That makes this one a practical set. It gave filmmakers more flexibility to film inside when they were filming here. All right, now get a great look at Wisteria Lane, because the next time you guys see it, it's going to be new homes to new houses, probably on a new show. So as we exit the lane, let's take one last look at those lovely ladies as we remember them in ABC series Desperate Housewives.
If there is one thing everyone in suburbia can appreciate, it's a good neighbor.
What the heck? Let's do this! Now Now, besides your typical suburban neighborhood, sometimes the scripts of our films call for a set that is much more fanciful. There's no greater example than the scripts for Dr. Seuss, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And you know, I always wanted to ask the director, Ron Howard, when it came to having to bring the magical world of Dr. Seuss to life, was it challenging?
It's challenging because the logistics were challenging. We had 11 stages occupied at one time on the Universal lot. One of them was just for putting ooze into their makeup every day. So I felt like it was one of those extravaganzas from the 30s or 40s. Sets that were inspired by Dr. Seuss, brought to life, made functional enough that, you know, we could shoot on them, actors could climb on them, people could do flips off them. It makes me so proud that it's become this kind of evergreen, and that every Christmas it rolls around and it means something to a lot of kids.
The Grinch was one of the biggest productions to ever take place here on the Universal Backlot. And as you can see around the corner, now these are the actual sets from the film. To build all these Whoville houses, we had to use 2 million linear feet of styrofoam. That's a lot. We also had to create enough artificial snow to cover the length of about 9 football fields. We modified some golf carts. 4. See, there's 4 of them here. Now, these are modified golf carts. They do run on batteries, so we can drive them around the backlot, but we won't. And Christmas wouldn't be complete without having to use 2,000 candy canes for that one film. Now, the poor Who's of Whoville, they had to put up with the Grinch, but over here they had another problem because their neighbor was a bit of a psycho. 2 of the most famous sets are still standing in Hollywood, the Bates Motel and the original Psycho house. All right. Anybody want to take a break and grab a shower? No? Oh, well, no? There's 12 rooms? No? I guess, well, you're in luck. I don't think there's any vacancies right now. Ooh. Who's this gentleman caller? All right. Let's cut to the chase. I think this is Norman Bates. Hey, look at that. A room just became available. Ooh. You guys should check it out. You'll have a killer good time. I'm dead serious. There's many paths in life, and Norman chose the psychopath. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Hey, Norman, come sign some autographs for the tram, yeah? Norman, you got a pen on you? That's not a pen, that's a stabbing knife. Come on, let's get out of here. I'm sorry, I apologize for that. But I did tell you guys that our effects were crazy. Huh? Alright, well, you're going to like me again because coming up after we pass the Psycho house, we've got the greatest set ever created for film. The plane crash from War of the Worlds.
Look at this.
Alright, now check out these props used here. Now, most of these are real items that were destroyed for the film. Like that shoe and that t-shirt. Yes, that's a real item. And the airplane. That is also a real 747. It was taken apart for War of the Worlds. Now, in a moment, our tram's going to come to a full and complete stop. Once it does, if anybody wants to stand up to get a better picture, be my guest. This is all that remains of the neighborhood where Tom Cruise hides out in the film. Here's Steven Spielberg and Rick Carter to tell us more on filming.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around the vision that Steven had.
When you first began to sit down to talk about War of the Worlds, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep close on me. Listen now. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Stay on close. Robbie, get in. Get in.
Alright, let's make like Tom and Cruise out of here. Now, despite the use of having a realistic set, including a real 747, the film War of the Worlds featured over 500 special effect shots. But let's leave the horrible plane crash and check out a more lovely scenery, like this lovely little log cabin. Now, our log cabin was constructed for the film The Great Outdoors. It was also used in the TV series Coach, as well as an episode of Desperate Housewives. The ladies had a little vacation out here in this house. But as we turn this corner, if you alert your attention to the back over there, that big blue wall, now this is our Falls Lake. Now, Falls Lake is obviously a man-made lake. But the way we use it when it comes to filming is we fill that pit to the brim with water, and it does have that giant screen behind it. Now in reality, it's this teeny tiny little lake, but on film, we transform that back area into any large body of water in the world. Yes, Hollywood can be full of deception. This is where Inception was filmed, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Some swashbuckling was done back here for Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. You can also see Denzel Washington in Deja Vu. You can see Denzel Washington in Deja Vu, and much, much more.
The blue.
Every single one of these scenes was shot over on our Falls Lake. Now when filming over here, filmmakers have to rely on these physical sets as well as special effects. But anything to get their vision from the blue screen onto the big screen. Or sometimes this screen is green, but today it's blue. Now, throughout the years, these special effects have truly revolutionized the movie-making process, but specifically CGI, computer-generated imagery. Now we can bring anything to life, like King Kong patrolling the jungle. A great example of how we used CGI was for our hit film, The Mummy. We brought our mummy monster back from the dead.
Death will come on swift wings to whomsoever opens this.
Alright, now we do have the actual tomb from the mummy. Now we're not supposed to go inside of it, but maybe the mummy's not home and we can't turn around, so it's too late now, so we're gonna go anyways. So, alright, I kind of regret this, but brace yourselves, we're going in. Mummy. Yep, this tomb really bugs me. Hey, speaking of bugs, there's some beetles. Cuckoo, ka-choo. Alright. It's really dark, so hopefully the mummy's not even in here. Maybe we'll just drive right on through. I hope. I regret this job. As long as we don't hit it first, we'll be fine. Alright, that doesn't sound good. You guys are not looking good. Well, and I don't feel good. It sounds like there's an infestation problem. Hey, there's something on my leg. Sir, move your hand. Oh, there's something on our tram. Oh, I think there's something getting on the tram. They're everywhere. It was Beetlejuice. Alright, now let's get out of here while we're all still alive. Uh-oh. Yep, I really put the dye in diet this time. Oh, there we go. Oh, now that would have been a tragedy. Alright, you guys, we just survived the curse of the mummy. Now, we've been through a lot today, but our driver, Todd, he took great care of us. Also, thank our driver. Thank you. He says you're welcome. Now, did I talk too much? Let me know, because we can talk about it. It breaks my heart, but we are nearing the end of our tour. I know that our driver can't believe it, and I can't believe it. Jimmy Fallon, can you believe it?
Well, I can't believe it. We've made it to the end of our tour, you guys. How about
Bianca
and
Todd?
Weren't they the best?
Yes.
Hey, before we go, I'd like to sing you a little song I made up. I was just 5 years old. It's called Tram.